Yo, peep this. You just clicked on let's view it, and now I'm Tyrone Cross. Welcome to my channel where I'm here to entertain you and or maybe your family with wittiness and sarcasm that hopefully doesn't piss you off as I react to TikTok videos and discuss other topics I find interesting or important or sometimes not important at all. So to any new viewers after this video, if you like how I do what I do, then please subscribe, get my back, have my six, help me take over Mr. Beast. Plus, when you subscribe, it costs you nothing and I become your little YouTube video making slave forever. Now, before I start this video, you guys know I cover my butt and drop a disclaimer because people are stupid, I guess, that this video is for entertainment purposes only, or hopefully to open your mind. I do not condone hate, violence, or harassment towards anyone. So anything you do before, during, or after this video, you're on your own, bro. Don't come crying to me saying I made you do anything, because I don't make people do anything. So let's get into this video. In this video right here, I found a few clips where cops just pull their guns out on people for what seems like no reason. And for those who have seen some of my previous cop videos, you know I believe cops don't have strong enough policies and they pull guns out on people too easily. And there's not enough emphasis on the mental impact that has on someone when you pull a gun out on them, threatening to shoot them. So let's check these situations out. So you already know, let's view it. So in this first video clip, a mother is talking about how her 11-year-old son called the cops for them, and the cops ended up shooting her son.
My son was up at first. I did hear his headboard. That's how I knew he was up. So I have anxiety, so I throw up when I'm nervous. So at the moment I was throwing up, I went to the bathroom and I saw my son peeking from under the cover. I went and gave him his phone out my bedroom while I was getting a towel to clean up the mess I made. And I told him to call my mom. He called the police first and then he called my mom. The police came. My mom also called the police when he called her. The police came at that moment. It was a minute. They were hollering, open the door, open the door. When I opened it, his gun was up. He was telling me to come out. I went out. I got out the way. I walked towards the end of my driveway where my mom was. And I heard a shot. And I saw my son run out towards where we were. He ran from the inside of the house all the way out to where we were. And that's when he fell bleeding, shot. And I put pressure on I put pressure on it to help stop the bleeding. It bleeding so much. I asked the cop. I thought what happened. You know, he told me he shot my son. That he thought he didn't know he came around a corner. You know, there were no real explanations of what happened.
How crazy is that? Now I'm not 100% sure, but I think the 11-year-old lived. But I promise you that 11-year-old will probably never call the cops again for help. PTSD to the fullest. So let me give you a little backstory from what I remember. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. I'm never wrong on purpose to try to change the context of something. I promise. Pinky swear. So anyways, as far as I know, the story is basically there was a domestic violence thing going on. The kid was hiding under the bed. The mom gave him the phone. He called the cops and his grandma. The cops show up. The mom answers the door. Somehow the kid comes into the cop's vision and he shoots him. Now the crazy part about this is the kid called the cops. Now I'm pretty sure when you call the cops, they ask your name, they ask your age, they ask who you're talking to. And then he calls the grandparents who also called the cops, which they should have asked their name, asked their age, what's the situation. So there really is no way the cops shouldn't have known that there was a kid in the home. That's the crazy part. So the cops must have known there was a kid in the home. So somehow he pops up around a corner or something. Cop is jumpy and blacka, right? So the point I'm trying to get at is this cop, even though he knew there was a kid in the house, he did not approach the house as if I have to be careful because I might hurt a kid. He drew his gun out already, right? So he already knows he's a walking weapon. The first shadow or silhouette he sees pop out, he shoots it. Why? Because what if it was someone trying to hurt him? That's why. He literally approaches a dangerous situation thinking about his safety first. Because what if he was wrong and it was someone trying to hurt him? Then he would be hurt or dead. But to him, the lesser evil is for it to be the kid. And I know some people think I'm biased, but I'm just thinking like a human being. Like if that was my job. I feel like if I choose to be a police officer as my career, that means I'm choosing to put strangers' lives in front of mine. Because that's what the job is. So you know what? I'm not a cop. Not only because I ain't trying to die for no damn strangers, but also because I'm not trying to play their games. And I'm pretty sure they try to make you conform to their ways.
Out of the car.
I'm not stepping out of the car. No, you cannot pull me out of the... Yo, why are you pulling a gun on me? Why are you pulling a gun on me?
Stop reaching for shit.
What? Hey!
Out of the car.
Hey! I ain't did nothing
Out of the
wrong.
car.
Why are you pulling a gun on me? Why are you pulling a gun on me? Why are you...
This is gonna piss you off, but apparently this guy in the video got charged with resisting arrest. And the guy in the video claims that when he was taken to the police station, the cop in the video kept telling him, "You people." What the fuck does he mean by "you people"? And here comes the worst part. As far as I know, this cop did not get fired.
Again, another example of them not giving a damn. He pulls him over for a traffic violation, tries to open his car, and just because he knows his rights, he's like, you can't do that. He immediately pulls a gun out. I've said this 1,000 times. How is that not against policy? Why does a cop have the freedom to just pull a gun out? I can't do that. You can't do that. No one else can do that. And then he tries to escalate the situation and tell him not to reach for shit. But just to play devil's advocate, if you pulled a gun on him for no reason, isn't he to believe you're trying to kill him? Is it fair to say that driver at least thought there was a 50-50 chance he could get shot for no reason? So again, playing devil's advocate, even if he was going to reach for a gun or a weapon to defend himself, shouldn't that be his right? Now, he wasn't reaching for a gun, but I'm just saying, another question I've always asked, where is the citizen self-defense law against cops? At what point does our fear actually matter? At what point does our safety actually matter? As you guys get to know me, you know I don't care about job titles. That doesn't make you a respectful person. It doesn't make you a loyal person. And it doesn't make you a good person. The career you choose to pay your bills has nothing to do with me. And that's how I see it, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're a judge. I don't care if you're a cop. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're a lawyer. Are you trying to tell me you would be my doctor for free? No. So let's stop acting like what you choose as a career also lines up with your character. It doesn't.
Officer pulls his firearm on a group of children.
The officer pulls his gun. During this heated exchange outside an El Paso rec center. In the video, now viewed millions of times, it's unclear what happened before the unidentified officer draws his weapon on at least 6 children.
He got me on the throat.
I just wanted to interrupt real quick to say, see, even this says it's unclear what happened that made him pull his gun. It might be unclear exactly what was said that made him pull the gun, but it's pretty clear that those are a bunch of little ass kids with no gun. He can literally punt each and every single one of those kids. Not to mention he has a taser and pepper spray and a beating stick before he has to use his soul taker.
Got me on the throat and got me like that and threw me down on the floor.
Jacob Saucedo is the 15-year-old being detained after police responded to a trespassing call.
I jump over the fence to see what's going on because I hear a commotion of all the kids screaming. I jump over, it's one of my sons getting choked by an officer.
I'm telling you to move! I'm telling you to move! I'm telling you tomorrow.
His mother, who was inside the rec center, tried to
Oh, he does have his beater stick out. I wonder who he wants to hit more, the mom or the kids.
intervene. She says only one officer abused his power.
The other cops, they were doing their jobs right. It's just that one guy that was just being out of control.
With the 15-year-old dragged into custody, the officer extends his baton and tries to clear the young crowd.
We're gonna put a report on these two fools.
Before taking another person into custody who's recording the scene.
What are you doing? I'm just recording.
Tonight, amid growing community outrage, El Paso PD says the 4-year veteran has been reassigned as they launch an investigation.
This is what I mean, though. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Not only did he not have to pull out his beater stick, the kids were just standing there watching it. Probably had a bunch of anxiety. And then he goes and makes a false arrest on someone for recording it. But I thought you guys are recording it already. So what's the problem? But you go from threatening to beat them with a stick to pulling out your gun. That was a threat to shoot and kill them. I don't get it. I don't get why these cops think it's absolutely okay to pull out a gun whenever they want and point it at someone. Even when you take gun safety classes, they tell you to keep it pointed down. Apparently, when you get trained as a cop, they tell you to keep it pointed up. This also shows how comfortable this cop is with pulling his guns out on people. He's so comfortable that he did it to try to scare away kids. Now, when those kids grow up scared of cops, hating cops, why? Because a cop threatened to kill me for no reason? How do cops not understand the cause and effect of this? Have you ever had a gun pointed at you in a manner, though, that someone might pull the trigger? I think all cops, through training, should have to have a loaded gun pointed at them while someone yells at them not to move, so that they know exactly what they're putting everyone else through every time they do that. Because they do it as if it literally is just a technique to get someone to listen. And it doesn't matter as long as I don't pull the trigger and kill them. We will both go on with our separate lives happily. No, only you do. The other person leaves angry and pissed off, probably wanting to do the same exact thing to you. And so that's why I am always talking about and advocating for them to change their policies on when they could pull a gun out. They definitely should need more than what we saw in these videos. One was literally a call for help. One was just a traffic stop. And the other one was just a bunch of kids standing around looking at commotion. If you don't see there's a gun there at the time, if the cops are not in a threatening situation at the time, what happens before that doesn't matter. Unless you're just trying to say that their emotions lined up with it, which still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the cop was really scared. Being scared doesn't make the reality of what's happening. You could be the scaredest person in the whole wide world in a situation, and the situation's 100% safe. Maybe not 100%, because nothing's 100% safe, but you know what I mean. No matter how scared they are, if there's no gun, it doesn't put a gun there. So anyways, that's the video of cops pulling guns out on people all willy-nilly and not giving two damns about how it affects that person when you threaten to shoot somebody. It's kind of weird when you think about it. So comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you think cops pull guns out too much? Do you think they need stronger policies on how and when they can pull out guns? Do you think they should be disciplined more for when they pull out guns for no reason? Or do you think they need more guns, tanks, and bazookas? But no matter what you think, share the video so we can find out what other people think. But while you're out there sharing the video, I'm also gonna need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hitchhiker button and subscribe with me. And I'll see you on the next trip. Day and night.
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
All my life.
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Can't help
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
That's why
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.